Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Minecraft The Mountain Cave set, and the size of this thing is crazy. Over 2,800 pieces for this one single set. This is not a superset, this is not a combination of multiple sets together. This all comes in one box. It includes a nice variety of bad things and neutral things and good things, including some brand new variants of things that we've gotten before and some brand new constructs as well. It has this light brick assembly that you can actually move around and use to illuminate different things throughout the entire build. There's a minecart track that winds around the entire outside of the mountain and can take you up to the top, or vice versa. It actually works better to take you from the top to the base, but they have another way to get you up to the top more quickly. And in a very nice surprise, rather than having a camera unfriendly side that they kind of just want you to forget about, this actually encourages you to turn the whole thing around and use it from the back and actually interact all inside of it. It's a completely hollow structure, and yet it's well detailed in there, even against the back walls and the inside walls of what forms the main terrain that you see from the front. So let me try to take you on a tour of this, starting from the top. I'm going to work my way down and then take you to the main interior space. This top structure with the creeper head done in ice blocks is supposed to represent a small player-made house. There's a potted flower out front. This has easy access to the top of the minecart track. They've got a printed sign over there. They actually have a couple of those throughout this set. And this structure has easy access from the back, so if you want to actually place your minifigures in there and do some stuff with them, you know, interact just a little bit, they have a little bit of room here. You get a lot more light in if you take off this top roof assembly, which is, you know, just a handful of pieces, but very easy to get that open. They have got a brick-built door, the standard style of door that they've done for a little bit. Bed in there, furnace, a little bit of carpeting, creeper head done as a trophy off to the side of the bed, a torch, and a nice printed map. That's a 2x2 tile piece. This is one of the places you can access an action as well, just outside the door. You've got a TNT block up here, which is the standard old one, and there's an actuator off to the side that allows you to blow up that section of the terrain and just knock it off completely. They also have integration for this light brick assembly here, or kind of sub-assembly. You can insert that from the side of the terrain over here, just like so. Kind of hides the light brick part itself, so it kind of looks like it's just built into the terrain. And then when you push the button to activate the light brick, it turns on the furnace, puts a little light through that. The entire creeper head house can also be removed to place it somewhere else, or just to give you different access to some different space that's usable here. So this becomes kind of an outdoor area instead. It's a bale of hay there, and maybe this could just open up the space for your domesticated animals to roam around. The charged creeper is new, but I'll show you that more closely when we get to the minifigures. Right here, I just want to show you another action feature where you can cause another explosion. This is supposed to be a charged creeper explosion. You just push down right here in the front, and it causes a bunch of terrain to come up. Or go down in this case. Back there is an armor stand with an unprinted Minecraft headpiece, and the first of the loot chests here with an iron axe in it. There's a bone, I see some slime balls, and also a pair of shears. Ooh, and a nice porterhouse steak. At this point, I might as well roll Steve down the minecart track just a little bit to show you how well that works. It actually works pretty decently well going down, not so much going up. I find that these get a little bit stuck in some corners, especially when you have a corner that then turns into an incline. You can always just pick it up a little bit and move it along, but it's just not the most smooth motion. It's definitely more smooth when it's going down. It actually has a little bit of inertia and will move itself along just a little bit through some of the steps. There's another one of those printed signs there, and this brings us to one of the plateaus. Got a baby wolf there, that's new, but again, we'll look at all that stuff a little bit later on. Lots of sand green. I'm very happy to see, and will be looking forward to using in my own Minecraft layout when I get a chance. Got a couple of trees up here, and this is just a nice looking plateau area. Looks very appropriate to me. I definitely think that sand green is the correct choice to represent the color of grass in a taiga biome. So the minecart track continues on down, but I'm actually going to shift us over to a minecart with chest because it has another treasure chest on it with a bunch of stuff. So let's check out some of the loot included there. They have just one single jumper in there to allow you to easily attach a chest or remove it. This has in it diamonds, lapis lazuli, bread, and the all-important golden apple, something I've definitely frequently found in chests in the wild, but it's really great to get that piece. It feels special to me to get the golden apple here. I like that part. There's actually a lot of interesting stuff that's built into the terrain that would be easy to miss. Different ores, you've got the lava that's actually flowing just beneath the surface there, just beneath the blocks on which the tracks are built. This brown wall is supposed to represent a first night dwelling where somebody has just found a small cave or possibly mined it out ever so slightly and placed a bed inside and a crafting table and a torch back there, and then just closed it all off with a bunch of dirt blocks. And most of these are actually separate blocks that you can use independently, but that's a nice little realistic touch and a nice nod to what people really do. You know, they did the first night set, which was not at all what people normally have for their first night. Look at that. You've got in the shade beneath this structure here, you've got some mushrooms growing, just all in the dark. You know, you really have to look carefully to appreciate some of these things, like the water that's actually flowing beneath all of this. They didn't need to put that in at all, in my personal opinion. Now, some of these things are easy to remove, so as you start to take these things off, that becomes more useful, but just for this main build and to make a successful primary set and primary build, you didn't need to have stuff like flowing water behind there. But then that allows for just a little more extra texture on the outside to bring in, you know, some wheat that's growing there, just a little bit of farming, some more foliage around here. The lapis obviously shouldn't be at the surface, but you're kind of traversing different depths here. You know, the inside of the cave is supposed to be rather deep. Some more mushrooms growing over here on the side, and this entrance to this abandoned mine here actually has another little feature built into it. There's just an actuator, a little Technic thing over on the side that allows you to use that TNT block supposedly to blow all of this out. So you just push on that, and all this is just going to kind of pop out as one sub-assembly. These are also pieces that you can use to take apart to make some other assemblies and some other options for the entire build. So the minecart track continues out to here, but we're not going to go in that way. We're going to go around this side, and I'm going to just show you that entrance because the track actually goes all the way through here. So if I push this through, there is a cave spider in the way, but turning it around, looking from the other side, this is where we really get into a whole different world. In the back corner there is a cave spider spawner with a new exclusive printed 1x1 piece. It's very difficult to see normally, but you can insert this light brick sub-assembly. I'm going to insert it from the outside, and that will light up the spawner just a little bit. They also have a built-in geared mechanism where you can rotate a knob that's in the terrain on the outside to spin that around wildly. There's a nice sizable lava flow here, and you can actually see some of the light coming in from the outside. That's where you saw just little bits of lava flowing just underneath the minecart track, so that's all continuous there, so they've got nice continuity. This is also another place where you can use that light brick assembly, so I'm going to insert that from the front, and when you activate it there, it lights up all the lava and also a little bit of flame just in front of that, so that works pretty well. Alternately, you could also take this light brick and insert it from in here, facing forward, facing the outside, and what that does is light up just the torch above the entrance to the mine. Now, before I go any farther, I do want to show you what's probably the most important, definitely the most complex action feature in the set. See, when I was up here at the top, I very conveniently skipped over this thing that you can turn. That spins the fire pole looking element back there, which is a new color for that part. It's dark tan. And with it, it brings an elevator for your minecarts. So your minecart that just came from the top, did a full kind of circuit around this place, can end right here. You want to put that kind of in the middle, not towards the edges where it could get caught. Turn the knob the opposite direction and bring this right back up to the top. Kind of allows you to just keep on going. This does have a spot right there that I found that it frequently gets kind of caught. I don't know what that's about. I tried kind of massaging some pieces around to make that more smooth. Wasn't successful with it, but it may have been my mistake. It's not too bad. You can always push past it. But then this is just set up and ready to take the cart back on down. So this is where Steve was to begin with, and that'll just allow you to take this around the corner. Here's how that looks from the side of the set that I haven't really shown you much yet. As you see, there's plenty of access for your figures to get up and down easily with the medium nougat colored ladder pieces there. This is always smooth coming down, but it's when it's going up that sometimes it catches in a couple of places. Usually it's pretty good, but that's just how that looks. Also lots of water. Oh, there's the spot where it got caught. Lots of waterfalls coming down this entire side of this set, and this is where I had inserted the light brick to light up the cave spider spawner, so that fits in there. And once again, the light piece of it, the light part of it at the end, gets completely hidden away, so you can always just leave that in the terrain and it kind of blends in. So getting back to the path of the minecart, ultimately you will end up back down here. Sorry about that bat. Yeah, there's a bat. I'll show you that later on. But you'll end up back down here, continue around, keep doing the same thing, or make a turn to the right. So past the lava, there's a little bit of water that came out and formed a single obsidian block. There's more ore to be found with the emerald there. You see some diamond in the background as well. A couple spots for bats to be hung, one on the outside or outer edge of this and one in the inside. And that takes us to the final area of the set. It's the small chamber of the cave, and you can continue to push your minecart right on out the side entrance that we previously blew up with some TNT. But this is also one more place where you can use the light brick assembly. So I'm going to insert that from a different place in the terrain from the outside. And this time when I push it, it lights up the redstone ore blocks that are waiting to be mined. And that's the end of the cave. We're back here, and there's where I put the light brick in. So I've taken a little bit of stuff off, I've blown a little bit of stuff off, but I also hinted at the fact that some of these pieces can be removed as sub-assemblies as well. So some of the track segments can be removed easily. They're just attached with jumpers. Some of the terrain bases can be removed. Some of these things are attached with a single 2x4 brick beneath instead of using jumpers. So some of these things down at the ground. These are all connected with just a couple of 2x4 bricks in there. But they have a number of things that are designed to be removed easily and to be reconfigured. In the instructions here, they show you one of the possibilities for moving things around, where the creeper head house comes down to the ground level and the minecart track becomes a full loop. So you come out of the cave, go over a small hill, and then you can go back in and just continue around if you want. However, that does leave all this track just disconnected up here, which kind of looks weird to me, but they also show you this option, which makes more sense to me. Bring the creeper head house down to this point, but then connect the track from the elevator all the way down to the cave, so this becomes just a different loop that you can take. So this becomes an alternate exit over here, or you can just continue back around to the elevator. It just feels like this all fits together a little bit better to me. Now, one last thing here, with most of the Lego Minecraft sets that have these changeable base kind of sub-assemblies, if you try to pick the thing up, it all just falls apart. They're not designed to be moved around. This one is actually designed to be picked up and moved around. As long as you don't grab it by these little fringe assemblies, the core of it is actually very stable. It has a strong Technic brick skeleton to the base. There are a handful of major assemblies of large sections of terrain that are connected with those kind of sub-skeletons in there, but all of them interlock well. So this becomes something that you can actually put away if you want to, if you have a big enough place to store it. And then you can bring it out to play or display without worrying about having to reassemble everything. So, for figures, this set comes with yet another Steve and yet another Alex, but this Steve at least gets the enchanted pickaxe and a compass, which is a printed piece, and Alex gets the printed 2x3 tile that is a shield that just uses one of those clear handhold pieces on the back to connect it. Otherwise, the prints for these are just the exact same ones that we've always seen since the beginning for these two figures underneath the armor. Here's yet another zombie and yet another skeleton, but with the gold armor, and you can put those armor pieces together to create a fully gold armored player character if you want to. That's nice that they actually allow you to complete the set this time around. Zombie gets a shovel to hit you over the head with, and of course you get the regular bow and arrow. A cave spider is something that we've gotten before, but it's more rare than a regular spider, so nice to get another one. It's appropriate for a cave. Enderman still can't stand up on his own unless he's attached to a studded base because he's so front heavy because of the block he carries around. The black sheep has a new color for the head. The rest of the pieces are just normal, and it's the same print we've gotten before. And as usual, they do allow you to virtually shear the sheep. They just include an extra 2x2 tan brick on purpose. Here's the wolf and the wolf baby. They use the exact same headpiece, but the wolf baby uses a piece for the tail that wasn't previously available during the design of many of the early LEGO Minecraft sets. Just this hinge piece has the horizontal bar at the end of it. And here's that charged creeper with the new light blue head and just a couple of previously existing light blue cheese slopes added to either side. Usually I am not happy about the inclusion of interesting figures and characters and prints and things in really large sets, that are more expensive, harder to get for more folks. But this one actually makes sense given that charged creepers are so rare actually in universe. It makes sense for this to be rare as a figure and difficult to get, and not something that would be released too widely. For folks who want it, I do wish there was a way to get it less expensively than getting this whole set. Of course, you can wait for Bricklink and eBay and stuff like that, but I do agree with the inclusion of this one in this set, if any. Previously, we've gotten small slimes, but here's a big one. This one is actually built up as opposed to the small ones, which are done with just one piece each. So you've got two copies of the eye printed piece. Those are 2x2 bricks, all this in trans bright green, except for the bright green plates that are used on almost on the very top and at the very bottom. You've also got that printed panel piece for the, I guess it's supposed to be kind of like a mouth, or is that supposed to be a nose? I think it's supposed to be more like a mouth or a breathing hole. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be more like a mouth. But this has the most awesome feature for something like this that they could possibly have done. So they've remolded, I believe it's the first time they've remolded this perfectly vertical windscreen piece in trans bright green, but they did that so that you could break this thing open, you could kill the big slime, and have two small slimes inside. That's just brilliant. It doesn't get any better than that. Well, I guess it could have gotten better if you had even more of them available, but that's good stuff there. Last but not least, two bats with their exclusive printed 1x1 plate. These are actually identical builds except for the orientation of their wing pieces. Those are dark brown minifig backpack kind of brackets. Just one of them has the wings kind of folded out or mounted out, and one of them just has them folded in. So they just rotated those same pieces around. I think these are pretty effective builds. I really like the two possibilities using the exact same parts. So if you want to have both of them in their flying forms, you can, or you can just have them both all folded up. This video is already way longer than most people will ever watch on YouTube, so I won't hold the few of you who still remain much longer. My overall thoughts are very positive. The price to part ratio is good. The build is pretty solid. I don't have much negative to say about this set anywhere. It's just the elevator that didn't work quite as well as I would like, taking things up, but the selection of figures and things is good. The selection of parts for terrain, the colors, the reconfigurability, the playability, the displayability, lots of stuff was done right with this. I feel like the Minecraft designers have actually learned a lot from feedback on past sets, and they've incorporated a lot of that positive or constructive feedback into the design of this set. Thank you for making it this far into the video, whether you watched the whole thing or skipped through it. I appreciate your time, and I hope that I showed you everything you wanted to see. Talk to you again soon.